The timing of the eating window in the study we're examining, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., raises important questions about late-night eating and its metabolic consequences. While this window allows people to skip breakfast and eat socially with family for dinner, it also means consuming food close to bedtime, and that might create problems independent of the fasting duration. Your body's insulin sensitivity isn't constant throughout the day. It follows a circadian rhythm, peaking in the morning and declining in the evening. This means the exact same meal eaten at 8 a.m. produces a smaller glucose spike and more efficient insulin response than the same meal eaten at 8 p.m. Your body is literally less capable of processing nutrients later in the day. This is basic chronobiology, and it has implications for when we eat our largest meals. The thermic effect of food, the energy cost of digesting and processing nutrients, is also higher in the morning than evening. You burn more calories processing breakfast than processing an equivalent dinner. This isn't a huge effect, maybe a difference of 50 to 100 calories per day, but over time these small differences accumulate. Late-night eating can disrupt sleep architecture even if you manage to fall asleep. Digestion is an active process requiring blood flow, enzyme secretion, and metabolic activity. Lying down with a full stomach can cause reflux, discomfort, and fragmented sleep. Studies using polysomnography show changes in sleep stages and reduced sleep quality when people eat close to bedtime. There's also the glucose excursion during sleep to consider. If you eat dinner at 8 p.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m., you're likely sleeping through the peak glucose response to that meal. Elevated nighttime glucose has been associated with increased cardiovascular risk. Your body is supposed to have low, stable glucose during sleep, not be processing a recent meal. Growth hormone secretion, which is important for tissue repair, muscle recovery, and metabolic health, primarily occurs during deep sleep and is inhibited by elevated insulin and glucose. Eating late might blunt this overnight growth hormone surge, potentially affecting recovery and body composition over time. However, and this is important, individual variation matters here too. Some people are natural night owls with delayed circadian phases. Their peak insulin sensitivity might occur later in the day than morning larks. Forcing a night owl to eat all their food early in the day might create its own form of circadian disruption. The question becomes whether it's better to align eating with your actual chronotype or try to shift your chronotype to match an ideal eating schedule. For shift workers or people with irregular schedules, the situation is even more complicated. If you work nights, should you fast during your waking hours and eat during sleep time? That seems backward. Or should you eat during your waking hours even though that's objectively nighttime? There's no good answer here, which highlights the limitations of rigid fasting protocols for people whose lifestyles don't fit standard patterns. The practical compromise for many people might be eating the majority of calories earlier in the day, having a lighter dinner earlier in the evening, and ensuring at least 2 to 3 hours between last meal and bedtime. This respects circadian biology while remaining socially practical. A 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. eating window might be superior to 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. from a circadian perspective, even though both involve the same total fasting duration.